Delhi police have registered a case in connection with the blast near the historic Red Fort under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act UAPA, which is India's main anti-terrorism law.
Also, 8 people have lost their lives and several others sustained injuries in the blast. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will today hold a high-level meeting with senior Home Ministry officials. Also speaking to the media on Monday, the Union Home Minister said that the blast occurred in a Hyundai i20 car at a traffic signal near the Red Fort at around 7 p.m. on Monday that injured some pedestrians and damaged vehicles, adding that he is in touch with the Delhi Commissioner of Police and Special Branch in charge and that all possibilities are currently being taken into account.
सर आपको लगता है कि इस हमले के पीछे ये जो ब्लास्ट हुआ इसके पीछे कोई आतंकी हमला है या कोई भी प्लानिंग यहाँ पर की जा रही है?
देखिए, हम सभी एंगल्स को ओपन रखकर सभी दृष्टि से जांच कर रहे हैं। घटना किस कारण से हुई ये अभी कहना बहुत मुश्किल है।
Delhi Police Commissioner said earlier that a slow-moving I-20 car was stopped at a red light in the area near Red Fort Metro Station in the national capital. He went on to say that the blast occurred in that very car.
And Samiksha, before we go further into the details of the event, the details which have just come in is that 4 suspects have been reportedly detained. And this is as per sources. 4 suspects have now been detained. We earlier learnt that the owner of the car had been taken into custody. The car that I'm referring to here is the I-20 with a Haryana registered number plate. Mohammad Salman, he was taken into custody, and now we're learning from sources that 4 suspects have been detained. So this is where the investigation has led so far, while cases under UAPA and Explosives Act have already been registered. And as far as the Delhi police investigation, it has revealed that the I-20 car which was involved in the blast was in fact parked near Red Fort 3 hours prior. CCTV footage shows that it entered the parking at 3:19 p.m. and it exited at 6:48 p.m. and that was just minutes before the blast. It exited into a crowded area. So it was parked there for nearly 3 hours before it exited. According to officials, which quoted by news agency PTI, the Delhi police have detained the car's owner, as I just mentioned, Mohammad Salman. He was detained in Haryana's Gurugram. The official also added that during questioning, Salman said that he sold his car to a person in Okhla who was named Devinder. Later, that vehicle was again sold to someone who's still unknown in Ambala, and the police are tracing the people involved here.
Additionally, Delhi police, along with teams from the fire department, the forensic unit, the National Security Guard and even the National Investigation Agency are at the site. Investigation is underway and surveillance cameras are also being scrutinized at this point.
And the explosion came on the same day that a major interstate terror cell was busted. 2,900, rather more than 2,900 kilograms of explosive material was seized, all from Faridabad in Delhi's neighborhood on Monday. And this happened just hours before that blast in the evening. In a joint operation between Haryana police and the Jammu and Kashmir police, the seizures took place. The JNK police is still in constant touch with the investigative agencies in Delhi. Police forces have joined their efforts and are carrying out these seizures and investigating the blast which took place, the deadly blast which took place last evening. All right, for more on this, our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur is joining us live from Ground Zero. Dharamjot, you were there late hours in the night last night as well. You're there as of now. Tell us, what you've picked up. Let's come to you first before we get into the further details.
Well, in terms of ground situation first, Shivan, the barricading is still pretty much intact. The rules are same as last night. No vehicles are being allowed from up to 1 to 1.5 kilometers ahead of the explosion site. So the first layer of barricade remains as it is last evening. The other layers of barricade behind me are still standing as it is. People are being allowed to commute on foot, but vehicles are not being allowed beyond a certain point. So that's where the security situation is. A lot of security officials are still present at the site. They're monitoring the situation. They're ensuring that certain areas where active investigation is going on and the explosion site still remains cordoned off and the investigation is not hampered. So clearly the security situation at ground zero is still fairly similar to what it was last night. However, certain movement has been regulated. In and around Delhi as well, a lot of barricading and a lot of checkpoints have been put up overnight, Shivan. Travel, there are a lot of points where you're being stopped, a lot of checking points that have been added, especially near metro stations, especially near crowded areas that see a lot of footfall early in the morning. So that is the development in terms of the security situation overall. Coming to the latest developments on the investigation front, Shivan, as you rightly mentioned, CCTV footage has been emerging after police and other investigative agencies started probing more than 100 CCTV clips from in and around the area. From Daryaganj, that is just 1.5 kilometers away, to the parking lot where the vehicle was parked for more than 3 hours, as you rightly mentioned. All of those traffic cam footage, CCTV footage, all of it is being analyzed to try and establish a trail of who this vehicle was taken from, who is the person, who is patient zero, or in this case suspect zero, and then from how did the ownership of the vehicle change and who really brought it to this point when the explosion took place at 6:52 p.m. last night.
And
so
Dharam,
that is the update on the investigation front. We also know...
Yeah, Dharam, I just wanted to come in
ahead.
there. You know, there was also, and we headlined this just minutes before we came to you, that a certain Muhammad Umar, who's also a doctor linked to the Faridabad link that was uncovered yesterday, hours before that deadly blast took place. He's also at large at this point. Any kind of links that you're picking up between what happened? And I understand it's a developing stories, we can't be sure at this point, but any link that is being drawn from Faridabad, what happened there hours before that blast and what eventually happened at Red Fort?
Well, Shivan, there's no direct link that has been established yet. I think we need to be very clear on that. Investigating authorities are still trying to understand what exactly happened, what the nature of the blast was, what the trigger of the blast was. And if at all there was any foul play involved, if at all there's any other angle involved, who are the people that are involved in this particular case. As you mentioned, 4 persons of interest were detained for a few hours for questioning from near the Daryaganj area. But having said that, there is no official confirmation or statement with regard to any direct link to the Faridabad bust that took place in the morning, just hours before the explosion last evening. Having said that, just to reiterate what the Union Home Minister said last evening as well, all angles are being explored at this point. They're all being investigated, whether it's a mishap, whether it's a possible terror angle. All of those angles are being very, very deeply, thoroughly probed at this point. They're going through all possible evidence with a fine-tooth comb to try and understand the root cause and the trigger of this particular explosion. But having said that, it's important to remind our viewers to not panic and to not be alarmist at this point and not jump to any conclusions. We're definitely waiting on word with respect to how this investigation unfolds. There is going to be a meeting that was mentioned last evening. In a few short hours from now, there will be a high-level meeting that will be chaired at the Home Ministry to follow up and take stock of the situation and to understand how the investigation has proceeded so far, Shivan.
Dharam, thanks so much for getting us those details. And as you correctly mentioned, we're not going to jump to conclusions. And again, an advisory to all our viewers as well, not to panic and draw conclusions. Let the authorities do their jobs and get back on what really happened at the Red Fort last evening.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.